I'm doing a 60-minute session for a client, so I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a psychic session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so I've done work with this client in the past. This client has struggled with Morgellons disease. I'm going to put links in the description to previous sessions where we explored this. So now we get an update, okay? I'm going to go ahead and read the goals and then I'll be getting tuned in. And thank you so much. I'm so excited to connect with you again, and I'm so excited to hear there's a little bit more feedback on what is inspiring the Morgellons disease experience for you. Okay, so you say, "Hi, Abby. It's been a while since we've had a session, and much has happened since then. I had Morgellons disease, and in exploring this, found a link with Lyme disease. So I got tested and came back positive for Lyme and 2 other tick-borne infections, Bartonella and Babesia. I've had these infections for at least 10 years, and they have attacked multiple systems of my body. Wow. I am being treated by a functional medicine doctor, a neurologist, and a cardiologist. I've started treatment, but it's slow going, and I still feel a lot of pain, stiffness, and inflammation. I'd like to explore this in depth and find out why I'm still holding this frequency and let it go. I want to feel healthy and move freely again. My family situation has changed so that my son now has taken on much of the care of my 95-year-old dad, and I have time to focus on my own health. Abby, can we take this to the next level and clear out anything holding these debilitating conditions in the body? You are such a gift to so many people who are suffering, and I'd like to offer this on YouTube for those in similar conditions." Thank you. I'm really glad. I know you've been under a lot of stress, and this is a really big update that your father, who's 95, your son is taken on helping him, and that gives you time to focus on you. That's a big part of healing, because I know whenever I took a look at your relationship with Morgellons disease, there was a lot of extreme stress, almost debilitating stress, almost impossible to keep that stress in balance, transmute it so that you could feel together, right? Now that there's a little bit more feedback like Lyme disease and there's actual treatment and more of a direction here, that's incredible news. That's really great news. And maybe anyone out there who's struggling with Morgellons disease, if they see this video, might be inspired to get tested for Lyme disease as well and other tick-borne infections. So, okay, I'm going to relax now. I'm so excited for this update. I'm so excited to connect with you again, and thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. You're ready to let all this go so that you can start feeling like yourself again. All right, there's just a squeak of a message here. And the first little squeak of a message is, it may sound silly, but it says, let's forgive the ticks. Let's not blame the ticks. As in, it's okay that you had a run-in with the ticks, and now you have this gift from the ticks, right? Has caused all of these experiences to happen for you. It seems like that needs to be said, and maybe it sounds kind of goofy or silly, but there must be something along the way that perhaps when you got this news, that maybe it grossed you out, or maybe it was a little bit creepy, or thinking about when that might have happened or where you might have been. Or so we're just saying that to clear out any type of connection or negative vibes towards ticks, okay? Yeah, we got to start here. Seems kind of simple to me because there's so much more than this. Still working in this thread of energy right now, okay? We are thankful for those ticks, all right? We are so thankful for those ticks. So thankful. So grateful. All right, so I'm going to take all that. That's that statement. Okay, we're grateful for them. We're thankful for the ticks. And then I'm going to place this energy just right over here. And then I'm going to go deeper beneath the surface. And it is like a very big bloated energy that's kind of bulbously in my way as I'm stating the gratitude for the ticks. So that is kind of belly busting me away. But I'm going to slow down and we're going to slowly work on this, okay? It's almost like you're holding your breath. Maybe you're excited for the session. Maybe you're nervous. So I'm just, any reason why there's this sensation of holding your breath, we're going to just exhale. Okay, that's part of this. That's part of this. Still holding the breath here. And this is a totality thing. This isn't like certain parts of your body. This isn't just the lungs. This is your energy field is really holding its breath. Still holding its breath, okay? Working on relaxing it down and then exhaling. This could be getting in the way. If you're energetically holding your breath, then you're not exhaling what you no longer need in order to inhale new stuff, all right? New, healthy, fresh oxygen. Exhale the old stuff, the carbon dioxide, right? Inhale the fresh oxygen. The energy world, the same thing takes place. There's an inhalation of an experience, the exhalation, okay? So here in your energy field, it's just really like this. And it's surprisingly not wanting to exhale yet, even still. This is so fun, by the way. It intrigues me as to why. I'm just telling you, hey, guess what? Hey, it's totally cool. Like, we can just totally relax, you know? It's great. It's great. Yeah. You ever see somebody, maybe it's like the adult to the child perspective. Like, when I was a kid, oh my God, I was so nervous too. You know, and maybe you're an adult now, you're seeing a kid who was, you know, you were in their shoes at one time and now you're looking at them from the adult level and you've grown so much, right? So you're like trying to let this kid know that, you know what, I know how it is to be nervous. It's okay to just breathe and relax and you're gonna do just fine. You know? So I'm kind of like this. It's okay to just relax. You're gonna do just fine. I'm wondering if there's something of this Lyme disease or these other infections, something of this process over the last 10 years, something of this whole thing that is encouraging this kind of state of stiff inhalation without exhaling. It's very peculiar that it hasn't shifted yet. Very peculiar. It's not that hard to get a relaxation to take place. The fact that it is hard, it's saying something in and of itself. All right, I'm really enjoying this. Okay. They want me to stick with it. They want me to take notice that as I continue to encourage relaxation, we are actually slowly but surely going down, almost like a balloon that's being deflated. The balloon was way, way out there, like unimaginably out there. Now the balloon is slowly coming down. Do you see how slow my hands are coming down? You can't even tell they're coming down, and they are. Just like the balloon. Slowly coming down. He's slowly coming down. This is so good. You are interdimensionally out there. I don't even know how to describe that. How did you do it? Still slowly coming down. Still slowly coming down. There's a long ways to go still, by the way. But boy, we've made progress. This is going to feel like you're entering into your body and you're going to be more in your body. Is it possible that this has been so traumatizing for you to have this condition? Literally, it's been traumatizing that it's been very hard for your soul energy to cope with being in the body. And you're trying to get as far away from this trauma as you could possibly get. So we project our souls out of the body when it's too overwhelming in the body. And we actually become stronger when we are in the body because we are fully immersed and embracing the experience. Trauma is tricky. Trauma is hard. I mean, it's kind of like the surreal challenge that is almost incopable, right? And then when it's a prolonged experience, you adjust to it in these terrible ways to try to maintain a level of sanity and day-to-day rhythm with something that is very hard and debilitating. So all this memory is here, you know what I mean? It's starting to make sense why it was so puffed out like that and why you were slingshotted way, way unimaginably far away, okay? And it makes so much more sense to me now that you're coming in. Is this really the ticks, the infections, or is it your energy and how traumatizing this has been and how I am being called to help you feel safe and comfortable returning to your body, first and foremost, because that is going to give you an edge. It's safe to come back. Oh boy. I don't know why I feel inspired to share this idea with you. It came to me today that, and you know, trauma's been also kind of a topic of conversation actually this week, last week, and post-traumatic stress. And I had this thought come up that imagine you're going through the worst experience of your life and it's been day after day, month after month, year after year, and then suddenly you have amnesia. You don't know who you are. You don't know what was happening yesterday. You have no relationship to what you were attached to, all this pain. And you don't ever regain your memory. So now you're starting like fresh. What would you be like? What would your personality be like? How would you dress differently? Would you talk different? Would you have different mannerisms? Would you choose a totally different career? You know, I got to wondering about this. I don't know why I'm thinking of it. Maybe it's because of how much trauma is going on in here. Imagine if we could somehow disconnect your relationship to all there's so many energy pockets here when it comes to memory and pain, even if we don't fully recollect every second of every minute of every day in our conscious mind is sort of blanketed into our energy field, into our being as we work through all of that. But if we forgot about it, wouldn't it be nice to somehow disconnect a relationship with all that? There's a reason I'm inspired to talk about this. There's a reason why I was even thinking about it today. It must be meant to share this. Maybe the concept is, on the energy side of things, maybe it's not so much as forgetting, but knowing it's safe to let go, which is what you're asking for. Safety to let go and move on. Bringing your soul energy back into your body, step one. First and foremost, this seemed kind of thin, but it was meant to be said. We're so thankful for those ticks, okay? Always say it like that. Because that gives you power. It always gives you power. When you can be thankful for the thing that did all that to you, be thankful for it, okay? That gives you power. Bring the soul back in. Inhale, exhale, giving you power. Still feel there's a lot here on the energy side that we're going to work through. Still feel we're a bit puffed up. Not quite there, but I'm telling you, we're slingshotted. I can't even define how far away you were. It's very unusual for any solar energy consciousness to be that slingshotted away at that far away from the body, okay? Very unique. You do have an incredible level of patience. I just feel like I need to say that. Because you're not pushy. And you're not telling me to speed things up. You're understanding that there's a process that takes time. It's incredible to have that level of awareness and ability to be patient. That means you have developed an ability. You've mastered a skill. You really have developed and mastered a skill at a human level of patience. You need to know that and admire yourself for it. You're not pushy at all, and you understand that processes take time. I'm in awe of it. I'm coming across this vibe, and it is very incredible to meet a human being that has developed this. So go you. All right. It's a little jammy, okay? Still bringing you down, and we're hitting some dense turbulence. I mean, it's not like it's vibrational, but it's like not allowing you to move through it, and it's jamming up in the back of the neck, it's jamming up in the heart and in the solar plexus, and it is frictiony. It is a discomfort. It doesn't create any kind of physical pain, this, but it creates what could inspire emotional triggers. Oh gosh. If I were to describe how this feels, it's like your whole body scraping through a hole in the floor of a house that is full of splinters. And it is perfectly fitted to every curvature of your body as you're slowly going through it, and it is splintering you all the way down, and it is cringy, uncomfortable, and it sucks. And I just want to get through the dang hole. That's what this is like. So is it turbulence? Is it like it's a grossness and there's a desire to not go through it, but we got to go through it. So you see the buoyancy going on here. Again, it is inspiring as we move through this because you are more of an exhalation. There's so much air built up in here. Energy, air is literally what it's like. That you are still exhaling. That's how much is in here. So much pent up in here. Come on. They tell me to keep going. It's okay. You're going to release puffs of this, it sounds like, throughout the session. And they want me to continue to watch you because you've moved through that weird little energy pocket. And literally, it's still about you coming down to the ground, down to your human form, human life, coming back into yourself so that you can now be yourself, the new you. I mean, you're working on straight up healing this and becoming yourself again. You are becoming the new you, literally. Could say, I want to feel like my old self again as a new self, you know? That's the goal here because you've learned so much from this. Okay. Gosh, we're going through yet another pocket, and this is anger, okay? And this is really intense on the back of the neck, throat. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're through that patch of anger, and I don't know what to make of what I'm looking at here. We aren't fully in it. We are entering into what is a jumpsuit. You're literally like a naked body that is somehow perfectly entering into a full-fledged like exercise outfit from the 80s. We're talking like pantyhose and like a swimsuit or something. I mean, it's hanging there for your body to merge with, and then it releases from these mysterious like heavenly hooks or something, and it just you're slowly dropping down into this world, and you have a blue like ultra like blue like swimming suit, and then these pantyhose, black pantyhose, and it's got a real 80s exercise aerobic girl vibe to it. And we're entering into yet another space. We are still nowhere near Earth yet, but this space is it's like a wheel on its side. It's lying down. Okay. Whew. This is really creating responses on the third eye and crown chakra. I feel very weak in my hands and my arms, throat. This place is getting more and more narrow from the ceiling to the floor, like it's getting cramped in here. I still have to do work in here. There's little green guys. They're little green things. And they have, I mean, they're kind of like very small pickles with black arms and black legs, like cartoonish, okay? And there's like thousands of them standing around in here. I don't know if they represent germs or something, but they're jumping up and down. They don't see, I can't tell, are they happy or are they angry? But you're a bit mindless to them, and they really know about you, and you're kind of drifting into a sleep state, and we're now moving through this space. Literally, you're falling asleep, and we are now moving through whatever that was. So you're coming down, and now I'm starting to see clouds, like we're entering into the atmosphere. And the clouds also represent sleepiness and soft, comfortable bed, soft, comfortable pillow, a good night's sleep. That's what it represents. Boy, there's still so much to do here. I still feel like this is, when we start looking at your physical body, it's gonna, but we have to go through this first. Because I'm starting to feel you're getting closer to your physical body. There's still more to exhale, but you are starting to have small inhalations, but there's still a lot that needs to fully come out as an exhalation. Energy, exhale. But it is progress, again. I'm asking your guides, my guides, are we done with whatever that was? The pickle people, is that over, or am I supposed to send that away, or forget that we ever saw that, or what? They say just, they just tell me, they show me that we're big hands coming out of the sky, and the big hands make it very small, and it's just a kind of a really pale peachish pink color, and then they just send it away. It disappears. Say don't worry about it. It's like not everything will there be an explanation for. Let's just keep moving towards the goal, right? If we keep looking at things to try to make sense of them, we are holding ourselves back from where we actually want to be, the goal. So what's good is whatever that was is a disconnect now, okay? And they want me to continue to encourage good night's sleep, relaxation, restfulness, peacefulness. They keep showing me pictures of somebody sleeping really heavy, really peaceful, really good night's sleep. They do show me commercials of, the classic commercial where you have a cold and then they have somebody coughing and rolling, and then they're in the bedroom and then their partner is getting the worst night's sleep because they're up all night coughing. And then now take this product. Everybody's sleeping perfectly, best night's sleep ever, and there's no coughing, no sneezing, no achy throat, no so you can sleep better, dot dot dot, you know. So that's what they keep showing me is you can sleep better, dot dot dot. Like it's a commercial. And you really are sleeping better. I mean, I think you could sleep through your alarm clock. That's what the encouragement is, a good night's sleep. Lots of rest, lots of relaxation, lots of rest. Still miles away, but we're getting there. You actually start talking to me. You have an aspect of yourself that is watching yourself sleep peacefully, sleep heavily, deeply. And you say, I want to stay in this for a little bit. I really want to cherish this. I really want to have this, to be in this. I want to stay here for a little bit. I mean, you're okay continuing to move forward, but this is something that you really are wanting. So I just stop time for a moment. And we create time here. So I stop time in the process of what could be described as moving forward to the goal, so that we could take a little vacation and create more time in the vacation of resting, okay? Because now we are creating resting as the path to the goal. And we need to go through resting in order to reach the goal. And you really want to stay in a state of resting for a while. And I'm not talking a day or a week, I'm talking like 2 years of resting. So that's okay. So we are creating the experience of you sleeping for 2 years in this energy space, okay? Which means that after this session, that is going to be an extremely helpful energetic tool for your body to start to rehabilitate, because one of the things that it needs is 2 years of good night sleeps. From the energy world into your physical body. And that may also influence you. I don't know if you've been struggling to sleep. I can imagine with what you've been going through with Morgellons disease, it has probably not been easy to sleep even. And so this is something that they are wanting me to create in the energy world to give you as a gift. And you are asking for this yourself. And I'm also welcoming this to manifest as your new norm, okay, is really good night sleeps. This is a tool to start rehabilitating everything in your body. Muscles, and blood, cells, nerves, organs, brain, heart, all that. Bones, skin, eyeballs, tongue, all that. Rehabilitate with 2 good years of amazing night sleeps. Yeah, you're smiling and jumping up and down, and you're just so happy that you got to have this. You got to receive this. And you're wearing a very intense blue dress with black pantyhose. Nothing of the aerobics queen from the 80s look to it. It's actually, it's a cotton blue dress, and it's very simple, but it could look sleek in the office. It's very vibrant blue. Yeah, there's something again about the 80s. It's just, it has like so it's kind of like a blue, really bright blue cotton dress, and then you have this elastic belt that's thicker, and it kind of jazzes up the dress. So you kind of tighten it around you. So it really does jazz up the dress. And it's black, and then you have black pantyhose and black high heel shoes, like classic 80s high heel shoes. Like, you look sleek. You really do. You're pulling it off. And I love the really bright, vibrant blue with the black. It's just something about that color combo is really, really flashy. Really works. Okay. 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 This good night sleep 2 years is starting to integrate, and we are going into the next thing, but I feel what can only be described as an integration. Like, imagine a ground, okay, how about this? Like ground squirrels. 1,000 ground squirrels. And there's lots of holes, and now it starts to rain, and the rain is going to last for 4 long months, and everything is going to be flooded. So all of that water is seeping into every single one of these holes, and it's going into the depths of these holes. Okay, so this integration of 2 years of good sleep is like the rain that is integrating into all these holes, and I feel it filling in the spaces. That's what it's like next. This is having an impact in your lower spine. It's like your lower back into your butt, okay? So that's where I feel it. It's giving your soul energy. It's almost like this is helping you to kind of get into your own hips. I still feel like we are miles away, but I also feel like you really are starting to feel more tuned in or more integrated into your own body. Yeah, it's so, chakras and the aura, and then how we perceive a human body and is of like a finite space, but my god, on the energy side of things, a single human body is like a universe of space. And so any perception of space and time, like, okay, you are simultaneously miles still above the earth, all the while I can feel you integrating into your own hips. It's so crazy. Okay. We're making incredible progress. Something about hip bones. Still really more on the energy side of things. They're talking about hip bones and the importance of having hip bones for balance, for standing, for sitting. They I can't quite understand exactly what they're getting at here. They show me a body that you have the head, you have the neck, you have the shoulders, you have these extensions called arms, You have this torso thing, then you have these hips, and then you have these other extensions called legs. But they're really emphasizing the hips are really important part of the structure of the body. Really emphasizing that. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep looking at your hips, hip bones, inner organs there, tissues, blood flow, arteries, etc. Anything in there, okay? I'm just directing all my positive energy that's channeling through me from the source, right? We're just focusing it in this area. They're really highlighting those. Wow. Okay. It's really surprising. But the more love I put into your hips, I feel like I'm going to bawl my eyes out. Like my heart is starting to move in this emotional way. And I feel like crying just rivers of tears. I'm going to continue to send light into your hips region, okay? And just encourage any emotions, just let it flow. Just let it flow. I'm doing the front and I'm doing the back. They remind me that that integration feeling that was in the lower back and the butt is also interconnected to what I'm doing at the front with the hips. But they also want me to stand simultaneously behind and really focus on the back side too, as generating and sending love, okay, to that space. Wow. Another surprise. I feel some kind of energy jam just pushing down the legs and out the feet. It's not completely down and out the feet, but it's on its way. It's like that's its intention. It's kind of like a dark bluish black jelly. And then I also feel on the third eye some pressure here. It's not, I mean, it's movement, okay? Okay. The next thing, you're it's like you just open your eyes and realize that you're 10,000 million feet in the sky and you're just like, ah! Ah! You're just like you were sleeping still, apparently. And then you just open your eyes and there's just like, where's the ground? Ah, I'm falling! You're like this. It's funny. I tell you, I just start laughing hysterically. I'm like, you're not falling. You're right where you need to be. Oh man, there's so many things happening just focusing on your hips. You're still freaking out and flailing, okay? It's like the funny, like people who, oh, it's virtual reality. Put the virtual reality on, they look down, they're like, ah! Like this. You're kind of like that. It's so funny. You're okay. You're starting to get it. You're not falling at all. In fact, we're right where we need to be. They're not. It's not about the exhale. It's not about the continuing to move down right now. All that stuff is just happening on its own. This is more just calm and peaceful, relaxing, releasing what no longer serves your purpose in different ways in the process of the exhale and the merging fully with your body. Okay. You're really up to speed now. I mean, you're pretty quick about it. You're kind of laughing with me as well. Like, it's like, man, life is just so weird. Kind of like that. You say you're doing so good. All right, the next thing is there's a weird red color. And oh, whoa. Again, it has to do with the spine. It has to do with the lower back of the neck. There's like a very rich red ribbon of energy, and I see it kind of pulling itself down. And then what leg would this be? It's like the left leg is pulling itself down through the left leg and then out, and it kind of out behind where the kneecap is. This is creating a reaction with you, and there's the unresolved anger about whatever that represents. There's more of these ribbons. I see a green one for sure. And there's kind of a weird catacombs. It's not particularly large. It's perfect fit for ribbons apparently. And they're like ribbons you could tie your hair up with a ribbon, kind of like that. And literally look like made out of fabric but super rich color. and they're kind of stuffed into really weird, awkward places inside kind of like a smaller rock structure. And there's, I don't, I don't understand it other than that's exactly what I'm looking at here. And you're angry about these ribbons. There's a blue one in here as well. There's a lot more than what I'm seeing. And they're almost like they've been fossilized inside of the rock as well, so you can't see them all. And one of them is orange, and the orange one is the one that you can't stand the most. This one makes you really angry. I'm just throw it out there. Sometimes when they show me specific colors, it can represent chakras. So what if there's a major imbalance in like the sacral chakra, which is in the hips, you know? And then maybe there was a major imbalance in the root chakra, which there obviously is because we're still working on getting you grounded into your body. But maybe it's the imbalance that we are working on releasing you from. But your relationship with these ribbons is almost like they've done you wrong, okay? Like these ribbons are people that really disappointed you. And you don't know whether it's almost like you are keeping them, and to let them go is losing something. Even if you don't like these ribbons, you want them to go away, but yet you don't want to see them go. That's literally what the experience is. This rock structure that holds the ribbons is getting more, it's sucking the ribbons into itself, like it's consuming the ribbons into its rock formation, so you can't pull them out very easily. And it seems to have a mind of its own, like it wants to close itself up to you. And you're getting angry because you need access to those ribbons. But then when the ribbons go, you feel like you've lost something, and that upsets you as well. So this rock closing off is also upsetting. So we need to decide what do we really need here, and what is it okay to just completely let it all go? Can we just completely let this whole thing go? And that way you can never see it again. Is that where the amnesia thing is coming from? What if you totally forgot about this ribbon stuff and never remembered it again for the rest of your life? And to forget about these ribbons is going to give you a total edge. But what's the difference between forgetting about something, like wiped from the memory, versus actually being aware and making the responsible choice to let it go? Sometimes we want to wipe our memory of that, you know, like, I'll just put that in the vault and never think about that again, right? But you have the responsibility to be aware of and to think about, and then the responsibility to let go of what is actually harming you emotionally. So it's almost confirming that it is better to have the memory, because you have the power, which takes a lot of courage, right? To decide what you want to hold on to and what you want to let go of. And the more that you let go of, the more room you have for new experiences that might actually feel a lot better, right? Boy, this is majorly jammed up, and it has to do with the mind, but it has to do with the brain. It has to do with the crown. I mean, there's a lot of layers here between energy and density, and it has to do with this part of your head, okay? Brain and third eye and crown chakra. And this rock full of ribbons has a lot to do with this area. And it is actually perplexing. It has a mind of its own. It is controlling and deciding. You are angry with it. You want to be in control of the decisions, but yet the decision is to hold on to. Then when you get to hold on to it, but it's closed off to you, that makes you angry. It's just, there's obviously an acknowledgement that needs to take place here. You're not there yet with it, by the way. You're not even remotely there with it yet, because there's so much unresolved anger. And I'm starting to feel the emotion in your solar plexus as we continue to look here through the third eye. But this also has to do with brain, okay? And it's on the denser side, which means we're getting closer to the physical body. Feels like it has to do with memory, these ribbons. Does it have to do with letting go of memory? I mean, I am talking about that, but they want me to keep focusing on the rock and the closed off, the memories, the ribbons that you're not being able to access. They're getting closed off, and this is angering you. Because what's closing them off is deciding it, and you don't want that. This isn't easy to, by the way, this is not easy to dissolve this. It's complex. I mean, any old day I could just fill it with light and poof, it's all resolved. But because there's a complex relationship with this image, and there's a mental body, a brain, there's different layers of density relationship with this image, that means there's work to do here. It's not something that just bam disappears. All right, let's go through it. What's the first thing that comes to you about this? What's the first thing? Remember, we got, you're patient and you understand the process takes the time it needs to take. So let's take a look at the first thing that you feel about this. You say, I hate it. That's what you say. Okay, cool. All right, you hate it. Like, I hate it. Okay. It's funny because now that you said that, like, aggressively, you don't feel that way anymore. Say, what does it remind you of? A potato. Okay. Potato full of eyes. And I don't like eyes. Potatoes with eyes. Potatoes with roots. You hate potatoes with roots. Like old rotten potatoes? Okay, we're making progress here. What else? You take this, what looks like a rock to me, and you put it in your hand and you crush it. You want every aspect of it to be basically dust. But you need the ribbons out from inside of it. You need the ribbons. Well, they're showing me that you taking charge, you stating what is upsetting you, you taking it from the inside and putting it on the outside. So you're taking from your precious inner universe your emotion, and then you're putting words or language to it, and then you are taking that emotion from your inner universe and placing it into this external universe. Okay, it's kind of like we're moving that energy from within to external. So again, an exhale is taking place, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense. It just, because you are trying to put a language to the emotion, and you literally are getting it out of your system. So if we want to call this a potato covered in eyes with roots, and I hate potatoes with eyes, that's perfect. That's perfect. And so you crush it to dust, basically. And you're gaining power over the situation because you are exhaling this emotion, because you're getting it out of your system. And the ribbons are starting to lose, I mean, they're starting to lose importance. They're not as interesting. They turn into little tiny snakes like the size of big earthworms, but they're little miniature snakes of all the different colors of the rainbow. And you yell at the snakes and you tell them that it's kind of like they left you in suffering. They weren't there for you the way they needed to be. There's a black and white snake here. And they both bite you. The black and the white snake just bite you straight up. And the other snakes are watching their every color of the rainbow. This might have something to do with chakras and energy balance because they are representing chakra colors. But let's just continue to watch here. But the other snakes also instantly follow suit with what the black and white snakes do. They bite you. And they do hurt, like paper cuts, okay? They just bite you on your fingers. They all are biting you, even still. They hate your guts. They hate you. How interesting, because the first thing you said is, I hate you. And now what they're doing is expressing, I hate you, back to you. And then paper cuts are very uncomfortable. And they're putting lots of little bites that are like paper cuts all over your fingers. And they don't care how it makes you feel because they hate you. I see. So let's be grateful for these snakes. Let's be grateful for that potato with the eyes, potato with the roots. Let's be grateful for the rock that was consuming the ribbons. Let's be grateful for every one of the ribbons. Oh, man. Oh. This is not easy. This is exhausting. I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like I can't breathe. My throat is feeling a relationship with this. Another version of yourself you duplicate. And you have a butcher's knife and you see all the snakes lined up and you start butchering them into tiny little pieces. And the snakes are really blindsided and surprised, and they're literally getting diced up. And they can't go anywhere or do anything. They're just being cut into tiny little pieces. And this you just starts laughing at how pathetic and weak those snakes are. And this you tells yourself that you didn't need those snakes anyway. Why would you hate them when you don't even need them? Look we just cut them into little pieces. Look at how pathetic they are. I'm going to ask you what you think about this. Okay, we are getting into denser layers of your physical body, just so you know, okay? This is going to, oh, gosh. Really, jammed in the throat. There's all these weird black, things coming out of your back. I don't know how to describe them. They're, let's just say, smaller leaves that are thick like the wings of a bat. That they have density. They're like pure bone. They're glossy and shiny and they're black and they're coming out. Thousands of them coming out of your backside. And I start to see you full of holes like a mozzarella cheese, okay? And you've lost some teeth and you're kind of puking out blood on the ground of some weird space. Do you know that place with the weird pickle people? And you were coming down into the 80s like aerobic girl outfit. I see a girl in a jumper and she's literally got a bungee jump on her and she's just bouncing up and down kind of mindlessly like ooh, like she's just doing that. And there's caverns and crevices and this is like a wheel on it lying on its side, okay? And there's these weird little things. They don't look like pickles with legs and arms. They look like little insect-like things. and they're tannish color. And I would be terrified if I were to wake up and see this. And it's almost like piranhas, starving piranhas that could eat a cow like in 1 minute flat, all the way through the bones and everything. These things are like they're gonna eat you all the way to the bone. It just feels like you're gonna be swarmed and eaten alive all the way through the bone. That's how this feels right now. And I feel like we're starting to wake up more at the physical level, and it's very scary, okay? This would explain the slingshotted soul energy and the process of coming back. This would explain the trauma, the extreme trauma that you've been through. This would explain us starting to look at that, face it, and dissolve that energy so you can start to feel comfortable in your own skin, in your own body, in this process, and to know that you are safe, okay? It is a process. Let's just go for it. Okay. Lying down in here. Nothing's happening. Definitely feel exhausted. Definitely feel like I'm going to die. Definitely feel like I'm going to be eaten alive. Don't understand this world. I mean, literally because of the weird jumping lady with the giggles in the midst of a strange cavern with thousands of flesh-eating insect like lobster things. Like, it's a weird world. None of this world makes any sense. That's one of the things you say. You're ready to die, and none of these things come and eat you. The weirdest part, though, is, oh man, this is yet another process here. It's to do with the throat. Your skin is disappearing, your muscles are disappearing, and all that remains is your bone. And you're still alive with just your bones. It's the most horrific nightmare of all time. It is terrible. It is absolutely horrific. And it's excruciatingly painful. It's painful. It's a nightmare. I feel, again, here's the heart. The heart feels like, it feels like really sour lemon juice with too much carbonation in it. And it's trying to create holes like into the heart. And there's the back of the head that's also dealing with something way too acidic with too much carbonation in it. And there's a burning sensation to it in the back of the head, in the brain even. There's like a body dipped in acid scenario here. That the acid burnt it all away to the bone. But the bones remain. There's another scene of horror, and you have, you have chunks of flesh missing, and you're giving birth to some black substance, okay? So releasing pent-up energy here from the hips region, okay? The sacral chakra, the divine feminine space, is all squishing out here. And you're screaming like somebody just took sledgehammers to your kneecaps, like Misery, the movie, you know? Like, I guess that was a book too. So whatever you like, books, movies. That's all I can think of is Misery. And isn't it Roseanne? Is it Roseanne that's in that movie? Anyway, busting that man's kneecaps, like breaking his legs with a sledgehammer. Oh God, that's screaming because it's just so painful in this space here. It's a horror. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. It's like it's just rancid with nightmare, rancid with suffering and pain, excruciating misery. It's about the word misery, okay? And not being able to escape misery. And it messes with your mind. It messes with your physical body. It messes with your emotions, it messes with you, like your soul even. Like it's messing with you. Squishing more of this out from within, okay? Divine feminine space, just this black tar energy. We're talking sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is, when sacral chakra is harmonious, you are in love with life, you are in love with yourself. You feel deeply connected to all living things. You feel blessed by everything in life. That's why sacral chakra balance is super exceptional. It can even help attract really positive things to happen in your life, okay? So sacral chakra balance is like pretty cool. So if we're in the dimension of misery that you've been going through, the extreme trauma that's catapulted soul energy to the ends of all space and time, okay? You could imagine sacral chakra would be really struggling, okay? It makes sense why it's got all this pent up goo in there. This is the next layer, okay? There's just all this weird, creepy, crawly stuff all over your body. Like, Aliens, the original Aliens, where the thing comes out, of the chest, but then there's the one that lays the eggs down inside the stomach. It's like a kind of like a rounded thing with a tail, like a stingray in a way. And it's kind of like these weird, it's got legs, bony like legs attached to like a webbing that goes around it. And these weird gray things like this are crawling all over your body. It's very creepy, okay? It's very icky. It's very gross feeling. It's very terrifying feeling. Like, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. Wow, starting to feel clear now, starting to feel peaceful. Like nothing ever happened. So funny how that works. Feeling way more relaxed. Oh, even feeling a little bit more flexible. There could be a lot of echoes. And when you get, how this is like all this inhalation, we got to do the exhale. Yes, we need to do this exhale. Now imagine if, let's just take a snapshot of the last 10 years and this process with Morgellons disease, and now you find out it's Lyme disease, but everything that you've been through, okay? How many echoes, how many fragmented moments, how much residue, energetic residue do you think has built up over that time and that experience? And as that residue is dissolved and transmuted, your muscle memory, your body memory, your energy field memory is no longer related to the trauma anymore. It doesn't relate because the echoes aren't there. It doesn't have the sound of the pain to traumatize it into still feeling like it exists. So as we clear out the sound of pain and misery and trauma, and create safety and security in coming back to your body, we take 2 years of good night's sleeps and allow that to integrate into your physical body, to continue to encourage the healing process. This is going to majorly benefit. So it's interesting because this concept of letting go, I'm ready to let go and move on. How do we transmute all these echoes that had just built up? We just keep working through these energy layers, because I feel that you have moved on. I feel that you have let go and you have moved on and you're ready for what is beyond all this. But we have to purge out all these echoes, okay? We have to retrain your energy field, your emotional body, your mental body, your soul energy. We have to introduce it to the new norm, like the hashtag new normal, right? We have to help it to feel and experience that sound. Okay? Because how many other sounds had you been expressing during the process of this challenge? And it probably was pain and misery. And those sounds have just built up like, right? Like this belly buster that we've been slowly exhaling this energy, transmuting this energy. It's already feeling a lot more peaceful in here. This is a really good start. This is a really big step forward. I'm excited for you. Like, let's keep thinking about the goal. The finish line of this is being free to live and enjoy life, and for misery to not exist at all in this process. It's good night sleeps, wonderful dreams, wonderful days, you know? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I am really happy to hear the updates, and I'm really honored and touched to get to continue to help you through this process. I know this session is going to make a big impact. It's going to help you feel more peaceful, more clear minded. There's still a lot of work to do here. However, this is a really good big step forward. We've exhaled a lot, transmuted a lot, brought you feeling more connected to the body, safer with your body. Start working on rebalancing chakras. Yep. I feel amazing after this. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with others, and for all of those watching. Thank you for watching from beginning to end. I hope you find this session supportive of anything that you're going through, whether it's Morgellons disease or Lyme disease, or maybe you're just living a day-to-day life and you can just relate, having been through trauma yourself, or whatever it might be. I know these sessions are here to help anybody going through anything. So thank you all so much for your love and support of my clients and of my YouTube channel, and I wish you all a very beautiful rest of your day.